Hello everybody and warm greetings from UNESCO in Paris. I am absolutely delighted to join you today, and I must admit I miss the vibrant atmosphere of the CSW meetings and the unique vibe of New York. At events such as yours, we rightly celebrate the power and potential of women and girls. We recognize their courage, resilience, their leadership. We also take stock of the progress that has been made toward a more just and gender equal world. And yet, we know that progress remains uneven, fragile, and too often incomplete. At a time when the world is confronted with war, protracted conflict, violent extremism, climate insecurity, refugee crisis, and growing humanitarian needs, women and girls continue to be disproportionately affected. Too often they bear the heaviest burden of instability and violence. And yet far too often they remain largely invisible in peace processes, excluded from negotiations and underrepresented in decision-making. This is both unjust and counterproductive, because women are not only victims of conflict and crisis, women are also leaders of peace. Across the world, they are rebuilding communities, sustaining families, supporting reconciliation, and leading movements for justice and resilience. The evidence is clear: when women participate in peace processes, agreements tend to be more durable. When women lead institutions, governance tends to become more inclusive. As the very well known UN Security Council Resolution 1325 on women, peace and security reached its 25th anniversary last year, the international community found itself at a critical juncture. The compounding crisis of armed conflict, climate change, democratic regression demand urgent action. Yet these challenges also give us an opportunity to ensure women's voices are part of peace processes and to build more equal and sustainable societies. To put this into perspective, for instance, women still make up only 22.5% of ambassadors globally. This is a striking figure. It reminds us how far we still have to go before women's leadership is fully recognized as normal, necessary, and indispensable. This is a cause that has guided my own professional path, I could say. I have always believed in breaking glass ceilings and in encouraging other women to do the same. This conviction has guided me throughout my diplomatic career, and it is what allowed me to become the first woman to be granted the diplomatic rank of ambassador in Romanian diplomacy, the first woman to serve as Romania's ambassador to the United Nations and also to UNESCO, the first Romanian elected to a leadership position in UNESCO as president of the General Conference, and only the fifth woman to hold that position in the organization's 80 years of existence. I do not mention these milestones as, personal distinctions or to brag about it. I mention them because they are proof that women can lead. Women do lead, and women must continue to dare more in diplomacy, in multilateralism, in international leadership. That is why I am pleased to recall that since 2022, we celebrate on the 25th of January the International Day of Women in Multilateralism, an initiative of Gabon, co-sponsored by Romania and many other countries. And this day reminds us of the vital contribution of women to international cooperation and of our shared responsibility to strengthen their role in global governance. I'm proud to underline in this regard that gender equality is one of UNESCO's global priorities. It is a cause that resonates deeply with the mission of multilateralism itself, to foster inclusion, equity, dignity, and progress for all. As former United Nations Secretary General Kofi Annan once said, there is no tool for development more effective than the empowerment of women. And his words remain profoundly relevant today. Gender equality is not only a question of justice. Across the entire 2030 agenda, the empowerment of women and girls is indispensable to reducing poverty, expanding access to education and healthcare, promoting decent work, strengthening institutions, advancing peace, and building more inclusive societies. This is particularly true in education. When women lead schools, they are more likely to follow inclusive, empowering, and collaborative practices. And when women are politicians, they tend to prioritize decisions in support of education. The same is true in environmental action. Climate emergencies are never gender neutral. They disproportionately affect women and girls and deepen existing inequalities. Today, as many as 80% of those displaced by climate change and natural disasters are women and girls. Recognizing women not only as beneficiaries, but as leaders and innovators is essential for more effective and sustainable environmental action. It is also true in the digital sphere. The rapid transformations occurring in the digital environment offer unprecedented opportunities to advance gender equality and empower women and girls. But they also produce adverse outcomes that threaten their psychological well-being and physical safety. Today, 1 in 4 women journalists report negative mental health impact from online violence. And 20% of women journalists give up online activities to avoid harassment. When women journalists are silent and silenced, societies lose essential voices, perspectives, and watchdogs of democracy. At the same time, women make up only 35% of STEM graduates and just 12% of AI researchers. These figures reflect persistent gender biases that still limit women's role in shaping the technologies of the future. And yet, technology should not be viewed only through the lens of risk. Thoughtfully designed AI can help reduce bias and amplify diverse voices across media, education, culture, and science. But this requires sustained efforts to close the digital gender divide by strengthening digital skills, media literacy, and pathways for women's leadership in technology. When women and girls are supported as creators and innovators, the entire digital world benefits. Still, there is also reason for hope. Today, women are leading change across all sectors. They are shaping debates on climate justice, defending press freedom, advancing access to education, and promoting the benefits of scientific progress. And they are not waiting for permission. They are taking their places at the table and transforming the agenda once they get there, at the decision-taking table. Allow me in closing to share one personal conviction. Supporting women's empowerment means striving for excellence, daring more, lifting one another up, and turning men into true allies and champions of equality. Because this is not only a women's cause, it is a shared responsibility and a condition for a more just, peaceful, and sustainable world. Let us never forget that women compose 50% of the humanity. The rest of 50% are their children. As Ban Ki-moon once said, as women thrive, so will we all. Thank you.